sounds good.
Well then, I'll see you there. Then walk blessed, as people here like to say.
Walk. Of course I had to take all my clothes off, didn't I? Before accepting the next mission. Okay, I can do this one, but not the next one. Okay, that's this one. I'll do it straight away, I guess.
Yes?
No, look at that. You came. Didn't think you would. So, what's your take on this contemporary sample of Chilean dancing?
You're asking the wrong person. I know as much about dancing as the Leon of alchemy.
Well, that doesn't mean you can't have an opinion, does it? Anyway,
I guess so.
how about a sip of wine? Rounds are on me.
Well, you don't really give me a choice, but okay.
Come, take a seat.
Walk blessed.
So, before we move on to more pleasant topics, here, I owe you this.
What's that?
Well, I heard that Duel, one of our sailors, successfully pulled the "I only stupid Chilean" stunt on you. It's not the first time he's done that, but since we're out to do business together, getting diddled by one of my men isn't a good way to start. Pity you couldn't teach him a lesson. It's overdue. But anyway, tell me, what brought you here? Just where exactly from Nerim are you from? I'm curious.
I'm too nice to have taught him a lesson. That's a long story. Are you sure you want to hear it?
That's why I asked. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Not too sure.
You know, this is precisely why I find it so interesting that so many people accuse us Chileans of being greedy or dishonorable. I mean, just take a look around. Are the other nations of the civilized world really so much better? We've got Nerim, which was recently split into 3 and devastated by 3 madmen. I don't need to tell you about that. Then there's Kira, with its fabled free thinking in universities. But every 2 weeks, there's a new attempt at revolution with at least 36 corpses. And don't get me started on Arc-Twin to Arizale or this place. What I'm trying to say is, yes, there's poverty on the Blue Islands, on Chile, and yes, there are problems. But we are free. Neither Morala nor the Elder Council tell us what to do, and no matter how dire the circumstances you're born into, life is what you make of it. So it's basically the opposite of this excuse for a country.
Yep. So in this country, everyone is born into their life. If you're born without parents, you have no life. You're outcast. You don't get a career. If you're born in a rich family, you can pretty much become whatever you want. You're given a career. If you don't like it, then you become one of the poor. You become an outcast. So it's very you do what you're told, type of thing. So in other words, in Calais, anybody who tries hard enough can make their own fortune.
Anybody can become rich, famous, or, if they want to, live an eremite's life on the beach. As long as they can go through with it. Then sure, there are exceptions. But in my experience, those who never made it brought it on themselves.
That's just how it is.
Must have missed what she said. Did she say something about the poor being lower life? She pretty much was saying if you work hard and you want something badly enough, then you can achieve it. So I'll say this one. No need to convince me. I couldn't agree more.
I know. That's why you're different from the rest of the people here. You know, I know what it means to have to fight for something. Unlike that snot DeLorean, I wasn't born with a bag of gold stuffed up my ass. But instead of wallowing in self-pity or listening to the priests talk about how everything gets better once you're dead, I took responsibility for my own fate.
So I take it you weren't exactly born into a noble family.
If a dust-sniffing loser as a father and a clump-footed, half-witted brother qualify as not exactly noble, then yes.
What about your mother?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. Your brother is a half-wit?
Was. Merciful as the gods were, they blessed him with a deadly fever at the age of 10.
Oh.
Probably better that way.
Okay. What? So your father was an addict?
An addict and a failure. Do you know the kind of person who does nothing all day long but whine about how unfair the world is? Take that and throw in 2 sacks of droge and there you have it. Jaran O'Neilly's. My crew is doing. It was a pleasure, Protector. Until next time.
Cool. Yeah, I know the name Yennefer, but I don't know where from. And I don't know what the clothes she's wearing are. I think it's from a TV show, isn't it? I'm not up. I don't really know a lot of TV shows, so.
Midnight. Between cobblestone.
Now I believe. Oh no, there's one more in the city. Time to go back to the guild master.
Who are you?
Huh? Can I help you?
Before I go there though, or there's my house. I'm gonna.
Oh, hello. I haven't seen you around here. Oh, a bit of this and that. Feel free to take a look.
You can have that and those three. Sell any duplicates of the blueprints. There we go.
Walk west.
I shouldn't be stealing from this place.
Mm-hmm.
That's still more
Just have
up.
to work if you want to achieve something. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
I delivered your message to that emissary, Dijarm. She has accepted your invitation.
She. Oh, wonderful. That changes a lot.
Why is that? Do you not like doing business with women?
Not if they understand the meaning of responsibility and discipline. And unfortunately, that's not the norm.
What now?
Now you'll get your pay. Go talk to Penny Pouches. I will contact you if your services are needed once again, which will most likely be very soon.
I see. Farewell then.
Farewell. There's one more thing. This Dijon. What's your take on her?
And sociable.
Most Calayans
Dislikes.
are, as long as it serves their ends. Now go. You'll hear from me.
The dislikes can get you bad conversation choices, so I'm gonna try again.
Yes? She? Oh, wonderful. Not if they understand the meaning of Now I will contact you if your Farewell. There's one more thing. This Dijon. What's your take on her?
I'd be cautious.
I will be.
There we go.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Now
that.
go. You'll hear from me.
Sure.
The light fades away at the end of May. Ta-dum-dum.
Now I've got to go to the next building to get my pay. The guildmaster told me to get my pay from you.
Oh, of course. Your pay for having a chit-chat with that woman. Here, I think that is more than enough.
450, that's pretty nice. Thanks. What's next?
Well, are you the eager one? Does all that money whet your appetite? But no, not at the moment. Oh, hang on. You know a thing or two about beating up people, don't you? Well, there might be something.
What do you mean by that?
Landlord Boric recently complained about rats in his granary, and we agreed to send him a ratter. That would be a job for you, wouldn't it?
Why not? Where can I find this granary?
South from Boric's farm. You just have to... Yes?
Guildmaster DeLorean sent me. It's about this new protector. Do you know where he is?
I suppose you're talking about me.
Hmm? Oh, of course, sorry. It's just... I didn't know what you looked like. Master DeLorean wishes to see you, my sir. At once, he said. It seemed to be something important.
That was
Why?
quick.
What's this about? The caravan?
Forgive me, my sir, but I don't know. Master DeLorean asked explicitly for the new protector.
Uh-huh. Then it seems someone else has to take care of the rats. Off you go.
Okay.
Guildmaster doesn't like to be kept waiting.
No rat business for me then. This one's a difficulty of 3. I like how this one tells you the difficulty of the missions as well. Those stars next to the quest are how hard it's supposed to be. I have completed some that are difficulty of 4, so I should be okay with it. I do want to get out of the city and do things though. In the basement? Okay.
As I said, without samples, I just can't say, my sir. I am sorry.
I understand. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. I'm sorry I don't have better news.
There you are. Thank you for coming so quickly.
You seem upset.
I don't think that's the right word for it. Yes?
Okay. What?
Rhodus Trevian. I still remember when he was first hired in the trading post. Similar to the way you were.
I guess
You
he's dead.
remember him?
Should I?
He led the caravan that was ambushed by those assassins.
Ah,
Rhodus was an urchin child from the Undercity. But unlike the others, he chose to fight his way out of his misery.
I'm gonna load again. He disliked that.
As I said, without samples, I just can't say, my sir. I am sorry.
I understand. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. I'm sorry I don't have better news.
There you are. Thank you for coming so quickly.
I'll do this one this time. Sure. What is this about?
Look for yourself.
Why are you standing there just for so long?
Rhodus Trevian. I still remember when he was first hired in the trading post. Similar to the way you were. Do you remember him?
I'm afraid not. Sorry.
He led the caravan that was ambushed by those assassins. Rhodus was an urchin child from the Undercity. But unlike the others, he chose to fight his way out of his misery. Eventually, he made it into the sickle. He was a disciplined, honest young man. Yet despite all his ambition, he never sought to surpass his path.
Sounds like he was important to you.
He was a good person, always striving, yet with deep respect for tradition. There aren't many young people like that these days. I still remember when I granted him the Sickles badge, 4 winters ago. He was so proud. I know it was you that brought it back to the trading post.
Yep.
I think it would have meant a lot to him, knowing that it isn't rotting somewhere in the desert sands.
I'm sorry for your loss, but why did you call me here?
Suffice it to say, there has been a disquieting development. Yes?
What?
We've found traces of poison in some of the corpses.
Oh.
Traces of Chilean poison.
Chilean poison? But those assassins, those petrified, were the ones who ambushed the caravan. I saw it.
The petrified are sellswords, pathless and despicable people. But in the end, they are weapons, tools. So the question we have to ask ourselves is, who sent them?
So you think the Blue Island Coalition has something to do with the ambush? That woman, Annelius.
You say that so lightly. I think it's about time you learn the whole truth about this cooperation between us and the Chileans. The reason the Blue Island Coalition is here is a bargain. Have you ever heard of the Green Scarabaeus, the idol of Morala?
I think so. It's a relic, isn't it? A talisman? Apparently crafted by the Lightborn Morala herself.
The goddess of Kile, yes. The Scarabaeus is made of a very rare gem that makes it one of the most valuable jewels in the civilized world. Well, as you might have figured, it was originally a Chilean who possessed it. Ralius Davul, to be precise, the founder of the Blue Island Coalition himself, and at that time, one of the richest men on Ven.
But now the Chileans are here, so does that mean the Golden Sickle owns this idol now?
Yes. I will spare you the details of how that came to be, but be assured that it was the result of hard and path-abiding work, something that is foreign to those dark-skinned cutthroats. However, the Blue Island Coalition contacted us about 6 moons ago, shortly after the Chilean Civil War was over. They want to buy the idol from us.
What kind of sum are we talking about here?
A big one. Let's leave it at that.
And you agreed? That is what Olenus is here for.
It is. To be honest, if circumstances were different, I would have never agreed. The fact that the Chileans, in all their greed, were forced to sell the symbol of their own goddess is almost an allegory for the way of living. But I suppose you also know that our country, Enderal, has seen better times. And of course, all those unfortunate developments in the past years have affected the sickle too. And before you ask, it is not as if we have to fear for our existence. But there are certain expenses we simply have to cover. In other words, we need the money.
Okay. Certain expenses?
Yes. Have you ever been to the Undercity?
Yep,
The house of the apothecari?
I have.
The pest house, as it is lovingly called. The sickle maintains it. And with the current economical situation, we might be forced to shut it down soon.
Oh. You support the apothecary in the Undercity? But what do you gain from that?
We do our duty. That the sickle respects the righteous path is not just some dull phrase. And from this day, This land shall be your new home, and the threads of which Enderal's future shall be woven rest in your hands. Book 12, verse 93. Being of righteous path also means taking responsibility for society as a whole.
But why help in the Undercity? Because of Rhodas?
Rhoda certainly helped me see the Undercity with different eyes, yes. But that's not all.
In other words, the reason you've made this deal with the Chileans is so you don't have to shut down the pest house.
Yes.
Hats off. That is generous. And am I right to assume that this caravan carried the Scarabaeus?
You are. It was foolish. But we thought a regular caravan would be less likely to draw attention. It was a mistake. I'm responsible for many good men and women that are now dead, including Rhodas. But be that as it may, we owe it to them to find the one who did this. And if the Blue Island Coalition really is behind it, then...
If the Chileans really are behind this, do you really think they would simply steal the idol and use Chilean poison? That would be way too obvious.
You're right, but we have to be sure.
So what are you planning on doing? The apothecary said something about samples.
Correct. We have to reconstruct the poison, and that's why I need you. It's called Dural Van, and it's made of 3 substances: Netherland thistles, dust maggot stingers, and dawnflower extract. According to the apothecarius, the thistles can be found in Golden Forest, and the stingers anywhere in the Powder Desert. Dawnflowers don't grow in Enderal, so you might have to try your luck with one of the traveling merchants in Duneville. Here, this should cover your expenses. And you have my word. If you help the Sickle in this matter, your reward will be generous.
I reckon he would like that. I'll do it. I want to find out who's behind this as much as you do. This is not about money.
That's an admirable attitude. Here's a list of the ingredients. This should be self-evident, but still, not a single word to the Chileans, understood? Rash accusations without any evidence to back it up could prove, disastrous.
Yep.
Good luck, Protector.
I agree. About this Rhodas.
What about him?
What exactly was your relationship with him?
My relationship? What do you mean by that?
Well, you don't have a wife, do you? Or... I got the impression that his death really got to you. Was he some kind of substitute son for you?
Substitute son? By the righteous path, you say what is on your mind, I'll give you that. But truth be told, it's a welcome change from all those bootlickers who I usually deal with. Rhodas, he, You know, if I take a look at this world as it is these days, I see so many things going wrong. Hardly anyone still respects the righteous path, save for the usual verbiage. And for some reason, they all believe they deserve a good life without having to work for it. When I grew up, it was different. Yes, I was born a sublime, but I grew up knowing that our entire life is a trial. Walking the righteous path, it is a struggle, and it requires effort and discipline. Rhodas saw that. He kept on going despite his fate. In a way, he was the living proof that virtue and true path abidingness are not tied to condition, so to speak. But that doesn't mean I treated him any differently, and he would not have expected me to either. Whoever hired these sellswords will pay, no matter the price.
Understandable. I think that's actually the last thing to do in the city. Time to go out into the wilds.
Walk blessed. It's
Oh, hello.
Pursue the third hint will be my next one, which is that door there.
I haven't seen you around here before. Just take a look around and tell me if